Greetings. Take a deep breath before anything. Have some patience. This life that we chase, where are we going? It can all come to an end, but we don't want that. What do we want? Most of us don't know. What do I want? What I want is already unfolding, just to see. Time and patience. Hopefully they find a solution before it's too late. Time will tell. Who knows, maybe I won't be here. Maybe you won't be here. Take a deep breath. And send it to your abdominals. And then release. A deep breath. You hold. And when you hold, you kind of send it down to your abdominal, to your stomach. Hold for 4 seconds and breathe out slowly for about 6 seconds. We all need to do this. The more oxygen we can bring into our bodies, the more oxygen our mind breathes. But it's difficult to breathe long chains of breaths for long periods of time. So we forget about breathing. So we breathe naturally. So breathing happens to us. Prepare for anything. Stay ready for anything. Try not to be afraid of anything. And the more you breathe, the more esteem you build. So if you stay there and breathe for about 5 minutes, 5 minutes after that, you're gonna feel some esteem, physical esteem. We have to find a way how to get through all of our individual problems. The world is not gonna help none of us. Whenever cool people come around, genuine, kind people come around, you can find ways how to value them. Even if they are different. The world has and always been a cold place, even though humanity understand a path to unity naturally. The narrative is the stigmatism. The stigmatism, the stigmata is the information that we been walking upon and writing as we go along, stigmatizing ourselves. Where I am right now is in the medium place, but more in the physical place because my senses are heightened. My hands are cold, sweaty. To get past this, I must continue breathing because I'm also doing something, speaking on camera, feeling nervous of what is to come because I don't know what I'm saying and I don't know what I'm gonna say next. But we lived and then we passed on. And then we cycled through. Within that time, what we do, does it really matter? Does anything really matter apart from human interactions and human proclaims? What does any of that has to do with the correlation of the natural harmony of things and the flourishing of movement? What does that naturality, nature has to do with any type of construct that is incorrect. Things can be incorrect because for anything to be correct, you gotta understand what incorrection is. Mistakes. Everything is okay, but is the direction okay of which humanity is moving? Their natural direction. The people, how they have the people conditioned mind into lack of formation and reformation of self-reliance and stuff like that in a certain way, to where the system don't mess with the system, don't scavenge the poor. That's what the system does. It scavenge the poor. Until they have nothing left. No hope, no ambition, nothing. Because it starts from support and motivation and opportunity. And if that is not presented to the people, they're not counted. They're not counted as living. Recognition. Many people deserve, many people don't. But who are we to say who do and who don't? So as we move forward in this time, very uncertain times, where there is high stake disagreements and agreements and conflicts and interests of war, the future is upon us. Life is a fleeting process. We're just grasping out, try to reach it. Reach the best of it. Whatever we're reaching out at means nothing if war breaks loose. When there's outright war, all dreams dissipate. Life itself has to circumvent. Have you seen The Walking Dead? Not for the zombies, but for the economy. It doesn't have to be that way in the future, because The Walking Dead is in the future. So, looking at the fresh start of it, what does it look like? It's near. It's nearer than we can think. Just a couple of disagreements, withdrawals. And when you withdraw from country long-term contracts, it means you're aware that you have an enemy out there. From World War II until now, it's been peace, it's been an understanding, and that understanding is no longer the same because countries' understanding have grown to not be the same. So now it's a challenge, it's a economical competition. Does America has the power, the people to pull this off as far as becoming an independent country, as far as starting and building from scratch factories and bringing back these industrial revolution in a modern way? Who will be hired at these jobs? What kind of education that do they gonna require? How hard is it gonna be to get the education? Will there be any trade schools? Because that's a good route. Trade schools are more practical than get theoretical. You know, in these modern times, people don't need to know too much reading and all that. Like, show me the work and I'll get it done. Like, and when it comes to the technicalities, like, okay, well then we'll push the books. But how can we get in easy without all this rigmajiggers and credential, all this pass through? Like, build a job, you know, make it easy for people to get education. But at the same time, these technical jobs gonna need technical engineers and stuff like that. So we get it. Robotics and stuff will be making all these decisions. So we'll see how far AI can get. That way we don't have to use a lot of brain power. But I say with the preparation for what to come, hopefully we see daily as time go by, agreements, or I don't know, because what the whole shebang is, it's a call out. It's a call out. It's like saying I'm the biggest and baddest person in this town, and I've been that way on my throne, but I don't know if there's anybody around here who is of a threat, so I'm calling it out just to make sure. But we always knew there was another person who is the next head honcho. But now we're saying, you know what? Let's call this head honcho out. Like, do you still recognize me as the head honcho? That's simply what's going on. And this person is saying, like, nah, bro. Nah. And that is like, you know, in traditional ways and stuff. If America is rooted in its traditional ways and can ignite that spirit, that is like saying, okay, you're looking to be dethroned. America looking to be dethroned. Will they stand for that? The United States of America, will it stand for that? I don't think so. And the reason why, because of the pride behind it. The pride behind it. We gotta be first. That is it. And just due to that, we gotta be first mentality will allow the Americas to use its superpower, which is clever ability. the may the cleverest man win anything. You gotta, you could be smart, you could be intelligent, you could be wise, but with cleverness, that's something else. That's how America came about. Let me take a drink, a little sip of this juice on that. Refreshing. Okay, so absolute resolve. That's what America is looking at. Absolute resolve. This is saying, okay, since I know I'm the head honcho of this town, and I know there's another head honcho out there who's in disagreement, we're gonna farm ways how we can put certain things down to let that say itself to you. What are you gonna do about that? Calling them out in a retaliative, see, some sort of how you're gonna retaliate, and depending on how they retaliate will be the spawn of the breaking of the verge of outright war. And especially in 2027, when China planned to uh, would I say, I don't know if I'll just use the word that is used out there, invade Taiwan. There's many other words that I can use because words are very crucial. So that's gonna happen in 2027. That's when it's like scheduled for, and we'll see how the United States react from that. Because if they make success on that invasion, there's a lot of things within America that will fall, as far as certain points and different things and growth. And because Taiwan is the semiconductor manufacturer for pretty much everything electronic. So, and America is also looking inward for independence as far as manufacturing their chips and different all these things that they have. They, it because it looks like it's gonna be a tough situation, because even right now, the way how investors are investing in the market, they're not maybe they're holding because they're looking for startups. Yeah, maybe they're looking for startups, as far as looking internal to build factories for bringing the jobs here, just like how Apple is investing $500 billion into the economy. So America is looking inward for self-reliance, and this is a good thing, but there's some transition that has to take place, as far as the untying knots and stuff that's been there, watching companies in different aspects of areas collapse and just not exist anymore. New things start being rebuilt and come about. This is what we want to see. We don't want to see things collapse and then chaos break out. Let me tell you, when the time comes, be slow to protest. Why? Because You see, it's about patience. We ain't trying to rush anything. We're trying to practice how to detach, disassociate, see ourselves feeling craved, pulled by this world, by this life, and just take a step back and breathe. Imagine yourself on an island and abundance of food and supplies for you. You're good. Ain't nothing to worry about. Use that mentality to take you through, especially in times of scarcity when it arrive. So keep chill, keep level-headed, see things coming, be aware, be cautious, be precautious, be preventative as much as possible. This is a crazy world because people's minds are so scattered right now in so many different aspects of avenues. And if one thing break loose that is grand, like war, ooh, everybody mind will have to just focus on one thing. What the hell is going on? So don't panic, don't riot, just chill, watch everything unravel, let the people in power do their jobs. You don't want to fight against them at these times and stuff, especially when things goes like really sideways, because if the people turn in on itself and stuff, uh, a martial law can quickly be, and especially in times of war, a martial law will be sound. And when there's martial law, people get, there's lockdowns and stuff, and people get away how they need to be out there doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. Just tough it out, like chill, like that's some good time when things is going on outside crazy. Just chill inside and learn something new, you know learn to, stay informed, learn how to adapt to whatever world you see unfolding. Don't adapt, and it's gonna get a real bad way. It's gonna get bad, like really bad. Everything is gonna change, especially when you start seeing the fires come back. The world is in a downward spiral right now. The collective. Down. You see? The people are stable, right, as of right now. But we're not too far from shit hitting the fan in a real way. You know, proxy wars, look out for those. Who is Iran fighting under? Who's Israel fighting under? You see? You gotta understand the chess game, know what pieces is being played on the board at what time. We gotta see these things coming and stuff. But right now, I want to talk real quick. We got 30 minutes. Let me push on to about an hour, and then we're gonna cut it there. But I want to break break down something real quick about nations. When China's at war, China's at war. The entire China's at war. And they're at war resolutely to the enemy. When Russia's at war, Russia's at war. They're at war resolutely with its people, at war with its enemy. When the United States is at war. When British was at war, they were at war resolutely with their people, at war with their enemy. Now the United States, when the United States go to war, it's clever. It knows it's democracy. It knows what the responses are with the general public. It knows all these things. It knows if it goes to war, how the reaction of the public will be if the war is chaotic. So, see, the United States is a very diverse nation. So many different people, so many different cultures. One of the reasons why the Americas are divided as far as the people, because the America don't have a people. Many of the people within America is not from America or have been captured to come and build America. America has never united within one people of many different race and culture and ethnicity per se, other than race. So America has never united, but it will when they mark the line of people not being able to leave the United States anymore. That's when. So, yeah. So if you want to leave the United States, you gotta leave. If you don't want to become a part of what's to come, what's America is gonna be turning itself into. So the people, so many different cultures and stuff, and what they're turning what America's turning itself into is not such a good thing, for the fact that the AI will be the leading front of the path to the purpose of humanity. The decisions of humanity is going to be made by artificial intelligence. That's why it's not such a good thing. It's not coming from a genuine organic human being. And there's many things that I can talk about AI and how ingenuine it is. It's a marvelous and spectacular in invention and discovery and stuff like that. Compilation, a whole collective of things. But it cannot beat, it cannot out factor, and it cannot outsmart, out intelligent, out clever. It cannot compete. It can never and will never compete with the human being, a prime human being. It will never. You know, I can pretty much break down, many things. I don't even think AI can answer some of the questions that I can ask AI. It'll always apologize, and we're working on it, we're developing, and things like that. That's how I know they cannot compete. So it can never be a replacement of a human being. So we have to find ways of how to still cherish and genuinely value human beings as even more than we've ever, because everyone really counts right now, still even more, so we get it. The head, the people, the high, let me tell you, the empire and then the resistance, that is it. no middle class. It's just gonna turn into the empire and the resistance. If you can have that perspective and agree with that, like, okay, yeah, that's 2060 empire resistance, boundaries and stuff within cities and states different. It's just gonna every year, every state's gonna have its own ruling. It's just gonna be a different United States. Every so many this state don't mess with that state, they're enemy of that state, so it's just gonna turn into this. There's a name for it, but I'll get to that. uh, where there's corporations who run certain states and you can see these things unfolding if you got the vision, to see these things unfolding and stuff. And the big unified economy, united thing, it'll collapse, to where the direction of the unification of the planet was going as far as nation cooperation and collaboration. But they could not really get to that because they don't know nothing about national teamwork. It's always economy, who, and like I said, the best government is the government who govern its people well, the best. Not the one who build the best, shiniest economy and the most robotics and all. No, 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 no. The one who really sincerely care about a life and the people's hunger, the people's cry, the people's requests, to which why they had put their vote for them in the first place. That's the ignorance of the government when those things get overlooked and power get in place and handle their own agendas and stuff like that. Uh, we don't know if the new administration have the right plan, but so far I can look at it and say there is some beneficial factor, but there is also some uncertainty where, okay, we can cut ties and rebuild from within and ground up with our new people and stuff, and use the lower class people, but give them the majority of the jobs and stuff as far as being in these warehouses. Like, make it easier for people to get jobs and get the education to get certain type of jobs, or have programs within the jobs to educate as they go up. So we just want the fairness, if there's anything like that is to come, as far as independence within withdrawals and nation can rebuild. And we see where their artificial intelligence going. But coming back to culture, let me talk about the culture who come to America and get things wrong. America is America. America has always been America, and it's always been America ever since the Indians empire, got strong armed, may I say. With that out the way, if the Indian cannot come to reclaim, if the Indian don't rise up a king to come and reclaim, and with the power behind it to defeat the military, no culture ever try that. You gotta have the military power first off, if you're really coming to claim America path, to lead the path of America down whatever purpose of road you feel it need to be led, as far as your culture, your nation, where you come from, your whatever. So whenever America is like more of a business factory, you gotta come here and become, the natural American family is a squared situation where it's a good thing. The American dream, the white picket fence and the people in the house and the family, and just this natural citizen living the nice life, family and generations to come, and just that right there, that is the value of everything, in every culture, in every way. That is the pinnacle of a human living in uprightness in these modern times. It doesn't mean that other people in different categories and circumstances should be looked down at. No. It means we should learn to look shoulder to shoulder and respect each other's as individuals, as family people, as one kind, as human beings and species. With that per se, since America is this business sort of world, and this is what it became too. Culture, people have a different time frame and an imbalance when they come here because of the obligation and the consistency of which they gotta keep up with this time frame of rush. Here is like a get it. You gotta be a go-getter. This is a place if you want to thrive and survive, or even prosper. You gotta be twice as strong. And it's hard for the masses, and the masses, a lot of immigrants and people who come from another country and stuff. But it would be nice if there was in America like a cultures union, like a national cultures union. This is saying I need more light. Do I? Okay, I'll get more light. For this part, I'll talk about a cultures union.